Do you wish there was a drug that could help you live longer? Well, there is, and it doesn't come in a pill. It's exercise. Because if there is a biohack for longevity and health span, it is exercise. I'm 57 and I've used exercise to turn back time and to stay young. I'm going to show you my top 3 strength exercises for my clients in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, and 80s, and beyond. There are many other exercises you could do as well, including the important training that you need to do for your VO2 max to strengthen your cardiovascular system. But for this particular video, we are going to focus on strength. Sadly, you can lose 50% of your strength by age 70. So your peak strength times were between 26 and 34. When you get to 70, whatever that peak year for strength was, it's going to be half of that. Now, that's the national average. It does not have to be your average. I know this because I'm stronger now than I was in my 40s, because it is doable. You don't have to be the average statistic out there. Plus, the average shows us that we lose 3 to 8% of our muscle mass per decade. That doesn't have to be true for you either. At age 57, I've gained 7 to 8 pounds of lean muscle mass in just this past year, and that's without any performance enhancing drugs. People say it can't be done, but they're wrong. Building lean muscle mass, increasing your strength and your VO2 max capacity, and your overall future health is much more malleable than most people think. I'm living it, and I want you to as well. And why does it matter? Because there's a 3 times improvement when you're comparing low muscle mass people to high muscle mass people. That's a 200% increase in all-cause mortality. And when you do extrapolate out the muscle strength data, what you're going to find is the primary reason for that increased lifespan is the strength component. You have a 3.5 times increase in all-cause mortality with a high strength versus a low strength. That's a 250% greater mortality risk. And who wants to hear the term frailty? I thought that was a term for really old people. But you know what? That's just the layman's term for muscle atrophy. But if you're proactive, that doesn't have to be you. Now, let's get into it. The Hex-Bar Squat. I am choosing this over the traditional squat, and the reason is to mitigate injury. You want to take out the risk of getting hurt, and when you're in your 40s, 50s, and 60s, there's a much greater chance of that. Because when you get to this age, you need to make wise choices. I know the bros don't like this, but to avoid injury, it's important at all costs, because it's going to take you much longer to recover at this age than when you're a young dude like this guy here. Youngins, they can get away with it, not us. So speaking of youngins, let's check out Nick, who's doing his traditional squats. Yeah, as you can see, that barbell is on the back. And once again, you know, like I said, we want to try to be careful that we're not using the spine. So his shoulders, the front delts are pulled back. So when he goes to rack this, you're going to see that he's putting a potential injury in place for those front delts, because if you get a little sloppy and you put it back wrong, you could end up injuring yourself. Proper form is still critical when doing your hex bar lifts. It's just that I have found keeping form is easier to do. I see far less sloppiness in the movement, particularly when at fatigue. You can still get that same explosive, strong power in your legs. Plus, with the hex bar, it significantly strengthens your grip strength. Another similar exercise to this is the belt squat. This is great. Once again, you can load your legs and use tremendous weight without any high axle load. So you're not loading the spine. You may not have this in your gym, but if you do, it's a good option to interchange with the Hex-Bar Squat. The other exercise I'm recommending is the farmer's carry. Once again, you can use the hex bar for this, or you can use dumbbells or kettlebells. Great for functional movement for mobility and stabilization. The most important tip is to keep your shoulder blades down and back, not pulled up or hunched forward. Your goal should be to carry your body weight for 1 minute. Our next strength exercise is going to be step-ups. Step-ups are a great example of pointing out both the concentric and the important eccentric part of the movement. The eccentric means loading the muscle as it is lengthening, and the concentric phase is when the muscle is getting shorter. In the step-up, the stepping up part, the concentric part is comparatively easy to the eccentric movement, which is the descension, which requires eccentric strength and control. The eccentric is your braking system. It takes concentrated effort to do this movement effectively. But it's so important because think about it. How many times have you heard people hurting themselves going down the stairs as opposed to going up the stairs? Those hex bar lifts, that belt squats, the step ups, they're all hip hinging movements. Now, hip hinging is a foundational element of our strength. We want to make sure that we're not moving at the spine, but we're moving at the hips so that we are activating our strongest muscles and that our biggest muscles, which is our gluteus maximus and our hamstrings. Hip hinging is a powerful movement that is essential to our lives. Whether it's getting out of a chair or picking up the Hot Wheels that your grandson left behind or going up and down a flight of stairs. Now I'm going to give you a bonus strength exercise, and that is the dead hang. You simply grab the bar and hang there, supporting your body weight. This simple but surprisingly challenging exercise will, of course, strengthen your grip strength. It also helps strengthen the vitality important for your scapular muscles, that is your shoulder stabilizer muscles. Your goal should be to hang for 2 minutes. Plus, hey, would it be okay if I give you one more longevity exercise? Yeah, this is a bonus one because the measure of strength is if we're good at carrying things. So rucking is my bonus one, and that is because carrying is our superpower as a species. It's the one key reason why we have thumbs and long legs and arms. In strength training in general, it is largely about improving your ability to carry things. Rucking provides robust, functional strength and endurance. Our bodies have been engineered to carry, and since the beginning of time, we have engaged in this intrinsic and necessary movement of our evolution. It makes perfect sense that carrying, pun intended, this activity into our modern lives today will build upon this intrinsic ability of our bodies were made for. It gives you a loading, weight bearing without overpounding the joints, and it's great training for other activities plus balance, overall coordination, and lateral movement. In summary, these exercises will help you get the most out of the most fundamental types of movements and tasks, physical abilities that you will need as you progress in life. These exercises will give you the strength bedrock to be able to do the physical challenges and the basic tasks that are ahead of you in those future years. The price of living long and healthy has always been high, but it's a price I'm willing to pay. And if I'm the only one, then so be it. But I'm willing to bet that I'm not. I'm here to help you maximize and optimize and plus your future years. Subscribe to my channel, like and comment. I drop a new video every week. We'll see you right back here.